Hey everybody, we are here unboxing Maeoni from the Master Set of Ashes, Rise of the Phoenixborn.
We're here.
We are here. Maeoni happens to be my favorite Phoenixborn out of the box.
Wow.
It just happened, you know. Yeah, sometimes you look at each other and the stars connect and the universe
snakes
says
align.
This is how the snakes align. Correct. So we're going to dive in. Maeoni is a Phoenixborn, which is who you are in the game, and she's your main character. So she has a battlefield of 3.
That's low. That's super low.
That's so low.
Super low, guys.
Spellboard of 4, also not killing it. But I'll tell you what she does have.
What she do have?
She do have. She do have. That's so good.
What she got?
22.
22
health.
big ol' health.
Yeah, that's the most in the game, and it's significant. I mean, we did Cole, and he was 15.
15.
That's like a whole...
I mean, 22. I mean, you may as well. That's 2 Iron Rhinos almost.
That is... Almost.
Almost.
I guess.
10.
Let's start.
5 and
Every
5.
economic transaction is now talked about in Iron Rhinos.
I'll take 3 Iron Rhinos.
Her ability
fries,
is
please.
Strike. After a player has declared attackers, you may spend 1 basic resource. Place 1 exhaustion token on this card. If you do, add 2 to a target unit's attack value for the remainder of this turn.
That's really good, Zach.
Yeah, so it's not an action or a side action. You attack with something. You can pay 1. It's got 2 extra.
Why wouldn't you do that? I do that every time that I got damaged.
And she looks great.
She does.
Egyptian snake theme.
Very cool. Very cool theme.
Magician lady.
All right, so straightforward. I love this game. You know why? Because they're not diving into the weird minutia yet. You know, it's very straightforward. You add to attack values. You do damage to things. You discard cards. It's just like
fundamental.
It's fundamentals. We're playing the fundamentals here.
Yeah, it's a real game.
Thank goodness.
It's a real game. So what's next?
Let's talk about Call Upon the Realms. Is an action spell that comes in the pre-constructed deck for Maeoni. But it can be used anywhere.
Yep.
It can be used anywhere. It is a main action. You use it. Boom. Change 3 dice in your active pool to a side of your choice. Okay.
No.
Okay. Is this real?
No.
I mean, we don't do this, right?
So
let me talk about the math, right? Okay. Okay. Number 1 rule of card games: if you don't run out of your deck. Like if you're not going to run out of your deck, if there's games where you continue to play,
that's where you're going.
If you're meditating and you're not running out of the deck, then discarding cards out of your deck does not matter whatsoever. It can either be getting you closer to the cards that you want, or it can be discarding those cards, but it doesn't, the statistics
it may as well be discarded from the bottom of your deck. Or the reason you're saying this, right, is you can meditate to change dice to any face you want. So in this case, you spend a card to change 3 dice. You could spend that same card to meditate for 1.
Out of your hand, which you would never do.
So, but you're netting 2 dice changes, but you're losing an action.
But here's the key, Zach. This card is in your hand. This is in your hand, and you have to use it. I can meditate from my deck and not use my hand at all. And as long as
you don't use your hand or an action,
as long as I don't run out of deck, then it was the good move.
Here's the real problem with this, right?
Tell me.
Is that okay? You spend your action to change 3 dice. Now you can't immediately spend an action with those dice.
Yeah.
So like, if your opponent can get rid of your dice or manipulate your dice, this is just a waste.
As they can.
I'm not keen on this card, as you can tell.
Let's not play it.
Pass.
Let's get it out of here.
Let's go to something more refreshing. Next up, we have Refresh. It's an action spell. You discard it. It costs an action, a heart, and a basic. You remove all exhaustion tokens from a target unit.
Also very cute, and even in its ferocity, it's
those Gilders will kill you with cuteness.
They will, but look at him. He's got a little hood on with the little scarf there.
Wait till you see his little sword.
Or I guess that's kind of like the preacher's robe thing, right? With the thing.
Yeah, that's not a scarf. That's his gear.
Refresh. He's got a broom in the background.
Let me
incredible.
Tell you what. So there's nothing like having a.
This card is amazing.
Yeah, it's great. He's just unfocused guy, right? You swing with a big guy and they block, and it's like, oh man, he's locked down now. They spend their cards and resources locking something down.
It's so good.
And you're like, I'm gonna take all my exhaustion now. Because there's the steady gaze, right? Put 2 exhaustion on something. That's locked down for 2 turns.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden it's like, actually he's back right now.
Back up. And all it takes is a heart and a basic. I would see that. This would see its way into a lot of decks.
I'm a fan.
Well, I want to talk about Empower, dog.
Look at that art.
I know. Yeah, Empower. It seems to be the case. She seems to be a unit buffer.
Look at that snake, dude.
I know. You got a thing for snakes now. I didn't know that.
Silver snakes.
Back whenever I was first meeting you. Empower is a spell that is all about...
I like silver snakes.
I'm really into silver snakes. I gotta tell you, before we're friends, just something you should know.
Yeah.
And I like water. It'd be a fun friendship, wouldn't it?
Man, go back to 10-year-old us.
We should go hang out by the pond then.
Yeah.
There's a lot of snakes and water down there.
Water.
Let's talk about Empower. See, here's the thing. Maeoni seems to be the type of Phoenixborn that is all about buffing her units up.
Well, you only have three battle boards.
Quality over quantity.
You can only have so many units on the board,
She's
so you better be able to. And she boosts units, so you're right.
It takes a single main action plus 2 leaves to get this thing on the board. After a player has declared attackers, you may spend 1 basic die and place 1 exhaustion token on this spell. If you do, add 1 to the unit's attack value for the remainder of this turn. In addition, you may draw a card and then discard a card.
That's good.
That is always good. A little filtration, so it gives a little bonus. Focus 1 on this spell, though. In addition, you may select 1 die in your exhausted pool, re-roll it, and place it in your active pool. That is what it's about right there.
Yes. So what
You
was
gotta
that?
focus
What's
this
Cole's
spell.
card?
This is unusable until you focus.
What's all Cole's
Expand
card?
energy.
Expand energy, right?
Yeah.
It's the same principle, which is just you're gonna get resources back. You spend 1, then you can get
You've
1
got-
back and re-roll it.
I wouldn't even touch this unless it's focused.
It's good.
I wouldn't even touch it unless
It's good. I think it's really good.
It's so good when it's focused, though. Focus it.
All right, next up we have, it's one of my favorite cards in the game. Like this finds its way into too many of my decks. For an action, you get Hypnotize, which is a ready spell, goes on your spell board. You can use a side action, exhaust it, and 2 hearts. Choose a target unit you control to gain the following ability for the remainder of the turn. Bypass. This unit cannot be blocked or guarded.
This is a card that builds decks. Okay, like this is a card that is a deck archetype all its own. Is it a hypnotized deck or not?
Yeah.
Are you trying to get a big guy, buff him up, swing him through unopposed? Is that what the deck is about? A lot of decks are like that.
And honestly, like not
So
even, it
good.
doesn't have to be that big.
Nah.
Just a medium-sized guy, being able to pay 2 and know that you can get into the Phoenixborn
Cannot be blocked or guarded,
which is important. So you can just nuke some units.
You can just nuke some units if you need to. And it's also got a big old silver snake on it. So you like, and the other thing that's important
What
about
else
this
could you
card
want?
is that anytime you have a spell that you can use the entire action of your turn to put it down and not spend any dice
That's good.
is very important. It's
Good
another
for
one
the
of those
old
stally
action
tempo
economy.
spells.
Yep.
I think it's very good. Let's talk about Open Memories. It's a discard action spell. So you discard it and you do this thing. It's a main action. It takes a heart and a basic symbol. Man, what good art too.
I know, right?
You may search your draw pile for 1 card, place it in your hand, and shuffle it up. So it's a tutor. You
Just
get to
so we're
search through any card in your deck. This is a real good way, by the way, to focus this spell that really needs to be focused.
I was going to say, what this card ends up normally being is in your opening hand, specifically with the purpose of getting a second copy of a spell that you need to be focused.
Yep.
Because you can't start with more than 1 of the same card in your starting hand. And that's just a clever way to make that happen. And it's tutoring, so you get any card you want. That card's always okay.
Yeah.
And it's the only time we see a child Phoenixborn.
Oh, whoa.
Random.
Whoa.
Baby Maeoni.
Wow.
It's her memories, man.
Baby Maeoni.
Being taught how to magic.
Baby Maeoni.
All right, next up, Molten Gold is an action spell. Discard. He is not having fun.
Yeah,
Mysteries.
that
man.
seems like such a waste.
So action and 2 frogs. Place 3 wound tokens on a target unit or Phoenixborn.
Hey, whoa.
Now, I have some thoughts on this card.
Okay.
Obviously, paying 2 to
Well,
be
luckily
able
we're here to
to
collect
talk about
those
our
thoughts.
thoughts, right? Obviously, you can play this card to do 3 to a Phoenixborn straight up, which is very
It
good.
does seem like what it's meant for.
Now, the thing about the whole do 3 to a single unit that's interesting is that frogs themselves do a damage to a unit.
Yeah, as a side action, right?
As a side action. So what's curious to me is you're spending 2 frogs.
Or is it main action? Side action?
It's a
Main
side action.
Yeah, that's right.
The dice ability. So the dice ability itself, you can spend a frog to do a damage.
Okay.
So this is interesting because it takes an action and a card to do 3 to a unit, which is probably not how you're going to be using this if you use it.
And it's your main action?
And it's your main
so
action.
you can't then use it and then swing?
Correct. So I think this card is really good if you're running the kind of deck that I like to run, which is kill the Phoenixborn real fast. And if that's what you're doing, this is just direct damage that you apply, right? Trademark of me. Anyways, I think it's a good card. The ability to do direct damage like that's good, but it's not the best of this style of card. So
I think 3 to a Phoenixborn is important.
that is why
that's
card.
important, right? Because you get in situations. I've been in these situations playing against you where it's like had a kind of a rough early game, stabilized,
How many
but
rolls?
Phoenixborn was like on 6 health. So it's like, well, he's just going to draw into 2 Molten Golds or an Open Memories into Molten Gold, and then we have it. So
And then there's the
don't discount
it's
it.
in the Soraya deck. It's the other direct damage. We'll
It's
get to that.
important.
You check out that unboxing.
I'm going to talk about transfer. Action spell. You discard it, and it is a main action, a heart, and a basic symbol. I see a lot of this in this deck. Move 1 token from a target player's non-Phoenixborn card onto another non-Phoenixborn card that player controls. That is a great little card. You can move an exhaustion token from your exhausted unit to one of your unexhausted units. You can also do the same thing to your opponent, which is really important.
You can also
Probably the other way is what you'd want to do. But
Yeah, you can also move an exhaustion from a unit to an already exhausted unit.
Yes, you
that
can.
You don't care about, or that you're going to
Yes, you can.
refresh, right?
Yeah.
You steady gaze a silver snake, and then I'll pay 1, move a token from 1 to the other, so now it's 3.
And then refresh them all
Then I refresh and they're gone.
Wipe it
but
away.
You can also, it's token, right? You can move a damage.
Yeah.
You can move a status token.
Status token.
So the status tokens are cool. We'll talk about status tokens a little bit. It's on some of these units. But it's the ability to move tokens around is pretty good. Now,
it's going to continue to be good.
An action and 2 resources is not cheap, honestly.
I mean, it's just think about it as a version of refresh.
Yeah, it is a different kind of refresh. It
a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think...
And you can use it offensively.
Also, it's a useful card. It's not lighting the world on fire.
It's what we call a cantrip. Just a nice little, oh my gosh, Zach didn't play Dungeons & Dragons as a child. And that is all that we need to say.
Spoiler.
Oh my gosh, doesn't know what a cantrip is? How do we have a business together doing this? This is unbelievable to me. Okay, Golden Veil, we'll hit it up.
Right, Golden Veil is a reaction spell. You discard it. It's a leaf and a heart. Also got great art. You may play the spell when an opponent uses a spell, ability, or dice power that would target a unit you control. Cancel the effects of that spell, ability, or dice power.
Can you read the flavor text for me?
No. That is the flavor text.
Get it? It's
it just
nothing
says
but
no,
jokes.
which is correct. Like, denied. You can't do this. This is important, especially for Maeoni, because she only has 3 possible units on the board.
Makes sense.
What I can't have happen is you just lock down one of my 3 units, or I have a built-up Silver Snake and you just lock it down.
This is what we call a cancel that works in a game, okay? Because you have to have a high-level die and a nature die, so you have to have 2 different dice types.
That's the mid-levels.
Just to do this. Yeah, the mid-level.
But you have to have non-basic.
And then it's like, I've got to spend 2 dice. I've got to have 2 dice I'm sitting on over here, then something has to happen, then I use the card. It's got to be in my hand. It's a well-balanced cancel effect. I very much like how they've handled this in the game.
Yeah, I think it's good. And it's 2 specific dice type, right? Because it is the non-basic. So you have to be running nature and charm.
Which means you can't just throw like 1 die in your die pool when you're building a deck and get access to cancels. You got to have both. So it's very important. Oh man, we got the Gilders coming up.
Oh, I love the Gilders.
Tell me all about the Gilders.
All right, summon Gilders. It's a ready spell. It goes on your spell
Zach.
board. It costs an action and a heart to even put the spell into play.
Okay.
Then to use it, you have to spend an action, you exhaust it, and you spend a leaf. So you have to have a heart and a leaf just to even Gilder it up. Place a Gilder conjuration onto your battlefield. You may deal 1 damage to a target unit.
Why, hello.
That works real well with Cole.
Well, hey, let me get on this Gilder here real quick.
All right, Gilder me up.
It goes on your battlefield. It has, its inexhaustible ability is important. Inheritance 1, when it's destroyed, you place a status token on a target unit. So incredible synergy with a lot of things in this game. Has the unit guard ability. This unit may guard a unit that's being attacked. That's an extremely important thing as you get into Ashes. You've got to have something like that usually in play. Attack 1, life 2, recover 0. Just a powerhouse of a solid little unit here.
I mean, it's a support unit, right? It wants to block, make sure your bigger things don't get attacked directly and go away. And then also when it leaves play, you get a status token, which could be useful. And when it comes into play, you do damage. So
what's
happening?
But Zach, Maeoni only has a battlefield of 3. So you're only ever really going to have 1 Gilder on the board, I would think. Maybe 2 if you have a big snake or something.
Man, Gilders, you don't need that many of them. Look at this guy.
You just need 1. But I'm just thinking in other decks, this guy could do some real work. Every time you summon him, you create a board that can't be attacked.
Can't be dealt with.
Gilders are
And then
always
if they
there.
do get dealt with,
You throw
status
some
tokens.
spiked armor on him. You throw some living armor.
Are you thinking about Cole right now?
I'm always thinking
You
about
should be
Cole,
thinking
but
about
there's
Cole, 'cause
also
the Gilders go in.
there's also really good decks that this goes into.
No, I think it's a cheap, awesome little unit guard guy. Like he's gonna see a lot of play unless we get a better unit guard.
Also reminds me of Mouse Guard,
Which is correct.
which is always good.
All right, the last conjure, or I guess ready spell board is summon Silver Snake.
Now, there's something important about this spell.
This is Maeoni's unique. No one else can run this spell.
Only Maeoni
card.
gets the Silver
You see
Snakes.
her art in the bottom corner.
Yep, there she
Costs
is.
an action to put it into play. No resources.
That's so good.
Then you have to spend an action, exhaustion, a snake, and a frog.
All right.
So that is the highest level on the charm and the natural dice.
That's a lot.
Nature. Place a Silver Snake conjuration onto your battlefield. Okay?
But it's focus too. You can focus.
It has Focus 1 and Focus 2 and Spell Guard, which we'll get to in a second.
Okay.
If it's focused, which means you have 2 of them in play, place 1 status token on the Silver Snake. Which
Okay, so it comes in with 1.
If it's Focus 2, you place an additional status token on the snake. It also has Spell Guard. The spell cannot be affected by an opponent's spell.
Which is nice, because there are some spells that like focus your opponents or exhaust your opponent's spells and do all that kind of stuff. So she is so attuned with these Silver Snakes that
You can't
there's
stop
nothing to stop her from casting it.
All right, then we have the Silver Snake, which is a conjuration, comes onto your battlefield. It is inexhaustible, all these abilities. Consume. Whenever an opponent's unit is destroyed as a result of a spell, attack, counter, ability, or dice power you control, Place a status token on this unit. If the destroyed unit was an ally, remove it from the game.
Wow. Eats it.
It just
eats it right up.
That is gone.
Which is important because the ceremonial magic can bring allies back from your discard pile. So
100%.
that's really important.
And they bring some of the most annoying allies back from
I've
the
done that
discard
a
pile.
lot.
X is the number of status tokens on this unit, and X also equals the snake's attack value. So
Yeah,
a focus
killer.
2 spell comes in with an attack of 2. Every time that you consume a unit, you're going to get a token, right? Yeah, you get a status. I was making sure I forget.
Yeah, it's just second nature for you.
Yeah,
You
I was
have
like,
to
that's
make
what
sure.
happens, right? So yeah, every time a unit of your opponent's leaves play, he's getting stronger. When your Gilders leave play, they're putting a status token on, they're getting stronger. And he has 4 life and recover 3.
So you're telling me you're building up the snakes, and then eventually they get big enough where it's like, if he hypnotizes this snake and sends it through, it's like 10 damage. Or he can just start sniping my units
like-
with the snakes, and then they get bigger and bigger.
What'll be pretty common is to have like a Gilder and 2 snakes out.
Yeah.
And so then when a unit leaves play, they both get a status token. The Gilder's play can protect. And you have two of them that are at 3 to 8 attack, and then you hypnotize and swing, and you're just doing lots of damage really quickly.
So build up the snakes and then throw them through. I mean, it's not unlikely for a snake to be doing a ton of damage, plus Maeoni's ability, plus other things that you might include in your deck, like strengthen, those kinds of things.
Yeah, and so like, when a unit leaving play gives you more strength, the ability to clear the board by getting rid of your opponent's units is even more powerful. Because I can direct damage, kill a unit, get 2 status tokens, and now you don't have that unit.
Killer.
Back. So it's a cool. I love
real
that,
strategy.
That strategy.
It's serious. So that's it, guys. That is Maeoni, the queen of the silver snakes, and she is an interesting Phoenixborn. Already, if you're watching these videos kind of one after another, you can see the difference in these style of Phoenixborns and how you can take the same very simple rule set and apply very different ideas to it to create very different play styles. So
Which is awesome.
Absolutely loving this. This has been Maeoni. If you like what you see, then head on over to Covenant Subscriptions. That is our service that we have for Ashes, as well as a myriad of other games that have these kinds of regular releases. You sign up, we charge you whenever a release comes out, we send it to you, and you don't have to do anything. It's awesome. So that supports us and helps us keep doing what we're doing, and it allows us to help you do what you want to do, which is play this game all of the time. So thank you for watching. We've got so many more videos coming for Ashes. Subscribe if you like what you see, and otherwise, we'll see you there.
See you on
Catch
the
us
next
on some
video.
more videos.